over a possible agreement with the United States, speaking of the conflict, which has been, although there is a ceasefire, but it's been over 105 days. Now, the sticking points, however, still remain unresolved. Now, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has outlined the contours of an initial understanding between the two sides, and he says that the United States has agreed not to interfere in Iran's internal matters. However, there are several critical issues that seems to have been deferred for now, just as the talks on nuclear concerns in the Strait of Hormuz. What has now been said, according to reports, has been postponed, with discussions expected to happen in the next round of talks. Araghchi has also confirmed that the bloc funds have been included in the initial framework of the agreement, adding that Israel's withdrawal from Lebanon still remains a crucial condition for the progress. Now, remember, Israel is not part of this memorandum of understanding. Meanwhile, according to him, the MOU based on the talks would be finalized within the next 60 days on the signing of the initial part of the agreement. Now, we may be on the brink of a peace deal in West Asia war, but sources say that the agreement could be signed as early as Sunday. But before we get to that, President Trump, however, has launched another scathing accusation on Iran. President Trump has launched this attack on Iran, accusing Tehran of spreading misinformation about the proposed peace agreement and acting in bad faith. President Trump has now rejected reports suggesting that leaked terms bear no resemblance of what has been actually agreed upon in writing, and he is targeting the Iranian state media reports. He went on to describe the Iranian negotiators as dishonorable and has claimed that there was no such thing in dealing in good faith with them. Retired Wing Commander S. Sudhakaran is connected with us here on the broadcast. Sir, good morning to you. You know, there are contradictions. Sometimes it seems that there are indications and there is optimism. Finally, a deal would be signed and this conflict will come to an end. But the threats and the counter threats coming in from the U.S. and the Iranian side still continues.
See, this will continue for as long as one of them, concedes, and that I don't see it happening. The reason why it will not happen is because Trump thought that he will have it easy. They thought that by taking Khamenei out, there will be a regime change and he will control both the oil as well as the nuclear program of Iran, which they were not being successful in so far. Will they be successful tomorrow, next week, or next month? They are not going to be. Trump banked too much on the air power, but air power has its limitations. Unless and until you don't put boots on ground, you cannot expect anything decisive to happen, and putting boots on ground would be suicidal, specifically inside Iran, because Iran is not a pushover like Venezuela was. The only other option is bomb the hell out of Iran, probably use a nuclear weapon and then, take it out. But that is no longer an option because that would create large-scale problems both for India, Pakistan, the surrounding countries, Middle East. That is mutually assured destruction, which we call as the MAD doctrine.
Right.
So what options do Trump have? Trump, is actually stuck in this game. He wants to get out of it, but Iran is very clear. You pay reparations for the damages that you've caused.
Well, he started it.
To pay,
right, sir.
If you're...
Yes, sir, because this is something which both sides, however, have been declaring decisive victory. But it still remains to be seen if the conflict, despite there being a very fragile ceasefire in place, once and for all will come to an end, and at what cost and at what consequences. But thank you very much, sir, for your point of view, because when we speak of President Trump, there has been multiple statements and there has been a lot of back and forth as well. It's happened in April, it's happened in May, it's happening again in June. And this time, President Trump's claims are even more sweeping because he says that there are documents that are in that final shape and that Iran has agreed that it will never possess a nuclear weapon ever. Now, President Trump has been claiming that there is going to be a signing ceremony in Europe, Geneva possibly, maybe next week. And these are extraordinary claims because every single one of them actually represents concession from Iran that Iran has publicly refused, however, to make for months. So has Iran actually agreed to the terms and conditions which the United States has been setting? Iran so far seems to be denying.
We just made a great settlement of the war with Iran. And we're going to be subject to finalization of documents, which should get done over the next few days. probably have a signing maybe in Europe. And most importantly, we have a deal that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, which was the whole purpose of what we had to go through to get this. So it was a big, very big thing.